totally unsolicited. How do you feel like today went?
Want me to take a Beau or you?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'll
add on. I always like to put my 2 cents worth.
I thought it was amazing. Honestly, I think we had there was a great engagement from everyone too, and that's obviously proof that there's that there's value happening and that there's excitement around it. And getting our entire team on there in a virtual environment. I know you guys haven't done a ton of the virtual versions of this. I think Beau and I said at lunch they were like, I think they feel like they've done a lot of this because they're nailing it pretty good with just the systematization around it all and everything.
Yep.
So I wasn't really nervous about that, but I was a little bit maybe surprised, I guess, at how well you had that run.
Thank you.
So you guys were prepped and obviously had, I don't know, scripted around this before or done versions of this in some way in a different scenario, maybe. I don't know. But you guys did a great job around that. So that was awesome. That's cool. Love the breakout sessions. Getting interactive in that was awesome with everyone. I think there was big value in that. I thought with the communication I was seeing in my rooms at least.
We try to break up, we try to break up the schedule. We try to break up the speaker. So it's not just me the whole time, or it's not just Kate the whole time. We try to break up the topics. So if somebody gets bored with one topic, right around the corner is a new topic coming, right? So hopefully they felt like there was enough variety to keep them, energized and involved.
Mm-hmm. What else, Beau? What else? There's
for me, it's from the just maybe an improvement side. I think everything was run really well. I sometimes like when we do these things that we get feedback on maybe what they feel is important about database before we actually go in and explain, hey, this is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Because then I think we gear on, hey, where they're at and where we can go. That would probably be one maybe kind of breakout or whatever that is before, and then, hey, tell us a little bit about this, and then let me tell you on what we should be doing and the value of that. But
that's a good point.
Yeah, for me,
I could tell that just based on your questions, your team, I'm guessing, is not spending much time building any sort of database for anybody because they probably feel like you owe it to them to do that. Is that what I'm gathering?
I think that's probably the biggest feedback. Like I asked going into this basically before we were prepping, because I wanted to know, where are people's heads at? Like, because we want to go into 2021 with some sort of like more of a partnership than a dictatorship on, hey, this is the way the team wants to run. So we got feedback from each of the team leads on, hey, ask your team how 2020 was and any improvements we could make.
Yeah.
And some of the responses were, I said to Sandy, like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, like you saw the value prop kind of in just in 2020 that we're providing, and like you providing your team, like how is there even questions around, well, where's my split go? And I think that's probably the biggest difference is a lot of the agents on our team, like Nikki, for instance, she does about 30 transactions on her own and joined us as an expansion partner. She knows the difference on, hey, I'll give you 30% all day to join your team. There's no questions asked. It's like a hands down, this is where we are. But new agents, when they come to the team, it's just kind of, you roll into the team like it's just an expectation that that's what everybody gets.
Yep.
So,
do you feel like there was a lot of built-in sort of retention tools that we use to make them feel like they're in the right spot?
Yeah. I know. Obviously, we appreciate that. I could see you. I could tell you knew what was going on with Boaz. Even triggered you with a couple of questions, right? And and definitely that was obviously I thought intentional to work it in here and there, which is great from a team value perspective. Obviously, hearing that from other people, not just us, is correct. Is always great. I thought one of the ones that I was most excited about throughout the whole day would have been, I think Taylor mentioned, I don't know if it was her or the ops team. She's like, I think I did 10 to 12 referrals to the team that year. I was like, oh, I love hearing that. And then at the end there, Kristen came in. We had 3 or 4 ops teams in our group, and we talked about getting there. I was like, finally get some referrals.
Because you've been saying, well, just because you're part of the ops team doesn't mean you can't bring business in. You have circles of influences, and you have Facebook and so forth. And having Taylor come in and share.
The results from our standpoint have not really been there. There's here and there, you get the odd one. Definitely not 10 to 12 from one person. That's not even close. So
I would say 3 months ago that was probably an implementation for me for the ops team is their databases weren't even really, it wasn't really even a priority to be added, right?
Yeah.
And now, like, you guys need to be in there, and part of their metrics kind of monthly is to go over is, hey, and how many people have you added? Like their goal is 5 a month,
Yep.
based on, just over 1 a week sort of thing on, talking to people, I especially find COVID helped that. Like that may have been, people are more engaged to want to talk to people because they haven't really had that human connection, right?
That's right. Yeah. No, I think it did help with that. Talk to me about the prep calls and the prep leading up to this. How do you feel we did behind the scenes getting you guys ready for this?
Oh, I have no complaints whatsoever. I think three prep calls, like kind of walking us through, obviously going through your value prop and handing that in. Probably easier, more so for our team than maybe a few other teams, because I feel like you said, 3-4 years ago, you were probably at the same spot,
Yeah.
and you've implemented these into your and obviously taken your team to the next level. It's really easy to look at, and like Sandy and I joking, like I was saying that to Taylor last night. We're going through this, and I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. Oh, we should be doing that. Or we had something where it was similar, but it was like, well, like, why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? Like, let's go with this. And
by the way, you're the second team that duplicated the quad 4.
Yeah.
So, they were like, you know what, we have something, but we're just going to do that.
Like it's there. And I think even in the breakout groups, most of the people here that like were in that, like I had 5 or whatever in my breakout group, they're like, if we could do that, it's not even like, it doesn't take that much time. Right. Yeah. But if everybody does it, like, it's just a really easy thing to make a connection. And
sure.
Anyways, yeah. So for me, that the 3 calls, Taylor being accessible, one-on-one, like nonstop, like I said yesterday, I didn't send her a slide that I thought I sent her. And I don't know if she said anything to you, but it was literally like 15 slides, not just one. And she did them all last night at like 6 o'clock. So yeah, phenomenal for her to put the time and effort in to do that for us too. So
sweet. Well, thank you for that. Sandy, anything else you want to add, or anything that was like, from your standpoint, man, I really love that you guys did this, or this is really going to help us with that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the transparency and your vision and that from the year back was a help. That simplified for us. I think even in the lead up to this, I think Beau and I kind of knew going in, we're like, they're obviously, we didn't really expect all the pre-prep stuff necessarily. So we're like, shit, they're actually, they're pouring into this pretty good. It's going to be great. Like, we were feeling really confident about it before like today even happened. We're like, we know this is going to be awesome. So we're excited. And we were feeling good about it already, to be honest, coming into today. At least I was, that we're, spending the money in somewhere that was making sense, and it was well worth it.
No, and I appreciate you saying that, because I find that a lot of teams who don't reach out to us are probably apprehensive, because they don't know necessarily what we're going to say to their team. They don't know if our message is going to match theirs. And that's the reason why we have the prep calls. So we make sure that we're on the same page. And at the end of the day, there might be some things that I believe that you guys disagree with, and there might be some belief of yours that I disagree with, but I'm never going to put you or your team in a position to where, I'm saying that, the message you're delivering is wrong and my message is right. We're always going to support whatever message that you want delivered. So
being able to go in there at the end there, I don't know, that was probably something cool. That was a good little, I don't know if that was off the cuff or how intentional it was, but going into the call there with Hunter and getting him, I don't know, it's like kind of proof in the pudding again, saying, hey, we're actually doing this stuff. This isn't just a bunch of smoke up here.
Yeah, no. That was off the cuff, but I know that when we're doing these, a lot of times we talk about certain things, and it's like, you know what? My Jolyn, our top buyer's agent's in. Let's go say hi to Jolyn, right? So if there's a way we can try to solidify, hey, this isn't just talk. This is actually what we're doing, right? I'm going to do that.
In virtual, I think that worked really well, especially because we have some ISAs in the call too. It's like, now they see, this we're not just here doing our thing. Like, other people are doing this.
Other people are doing it too.
Yeah. So that was cool.